Felix, how has the advanced search functionality impacted your damage prevention efforts?
I use the advanced search for local saved searches that I have. Um, I actually have one that is scheduled to send automatically to certain people weekly. And then I also have, and again, that one is for damage prevention because it has our construction inspection analysis, and I send it based on regions. So I send an email report automatically using the Boss 811 scheduler, and that one is just a report that's generated. Um, Again, awesome report, and you can do it once you have everything saved that you like. Very flexible reporting, and the ability to schedule it is incredible. And I would just say, we've been able to replace a lot of our standalone reports that used to exist with advanced searches. One of them is the leak report we used to do, where our construction inspector used to have to flag whether there was a winter patrol required, yes or no, on his high risk excavation form. And then we used to have to send out a leak report generated kind of through Excel from the data we used to export. Now we just use an advanced search where I go to the custom fields and I pull how many leak report yes responses we've got, and it spits out exactly the columns that I used to have in that report, and I save it, and it's exactly what I want, and I send it off to whoever needs it.
During your webinar presentation, you mentioned not needing to backfill two positions. What kind of impact did that have on your organization?
It's honestly a good question. I don't know because I don't see it.
I like that question too.
But if I were being honest with you, I would estimate at least 100 grand each person.
Right.
So probably 200 grand.
Felix, since you have complete control over administrating the Boss 811 system, how does that impact your ability to get things done?
So one of the ways we can do it is, or one of the ways that I'm benefiting is with roles and permissions. Again, only the administrator can kind of tweak roles and permissions. But what I found is one district all of a sudden was having issues with the behavior of some of their markout inspectors. And a lot of them were spying on each other, for lack of a better term. And we wanted them to kind of mind their own tickets. So what we did was, with the help of Boss 811, we created a permission setting called locator trainee, where they would be very limited in their permission and not be able to view everything, like super transparent. And by doing so in that one district, we were able to scale back on the spying that takes place, or that took place on the few of them, by kind of doing it for everybody. And then again, the supervisors that I would allow to change the permissions back and forth as they pleased. And what we found was a tremendous success. Again, that doesn't necessarily solve the behavioral part of it, but from a system point of view, we're able to manage it. And that's the flexibility that I appreciate, that we were able to kind of use that example where we're changing a permission with an admin on our own without having to go back and forth to you, to Boss 811, and back and forth to try to figure out what we want. We understood it. We were able to create it. We were able to administer it. And we can change it back when we feel it's appropriate, and we can toggle it on and off every day if we wanted. Another example I'm thinking of is with holiday calendars. We do have different holidays than maybe other states might have in other states, or it might fall on a different date because of our state calendar and our call center. One example I'll give is Juneteenth, but MLK Day or whatever other holidays are happening, they might not fall exactly on the same day. So our holiday calendar is really good to kind of be fluid, that we can kind of create it. And as it changes every year, the dates are going to change. Again, maybe more specific to that state's holiday calendar. So it gives us that kind of flexibility to change that, as well as our business hours. Sometimes on certain holidays, we have to change our business hours for that one day. I'll go in there, I'll tweak the business hours, because let's say our markout hub is going to be off for a half a day. I'll change those business hours for that half a day by moving it from, let's say, 3 o'clock p.m. to whenever they leave at 12 o'clock p.m. And that way our dispatch gets the remainder of the tickets afterwards. I don't have to message Boss 811 about it. It's all managed internally and very flexible.
Felix, before you go, I have one last question. Do you have any future plans for Boss 811 at PSE&G?
Yeah, we have something cooking right now, actually, which is utilizing ArcGIS in routing, which I've spoke with Michelle on recently, and she's given me great feedback of what we have to do with our GIS team on how to get that routing going. And basically what the future holds for that is the ability to get some higher sensitive facilities that we have, like transmission or regulators, which obviously you saw in the rules that we have, where we would try to take out some human error entries that might be taking place. We just want to avoid any type of human error that we can, and automate the ability to just say, well, you're near a sensitive facility like transmission, please make this a construction inspection before the person even looks at it. So that's kind of what our next steps are, using ArcGIS, whether it be in a shapefile, whether it be in a KMZ format, and have that routing take place would be very, very valuable to us.